this cap on the track.
Yo, welcome to Chopping It Up with your boy ATB and Miss Leah. This is your host, ATB, aka America's Teddy Bear.
And I'm your favorite co-host, Miss Leah.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hi, people. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, back to work after that Labor Day. Go on, get your ass up. Get your ass up.
Back at it. Back at it.
Back at it. How you feeling, Miss Leah? What's going on?
I'm feeling okay. Just waiting on this cold to finish up and get on gone up out of my system, man, so I can get outside and move around a little bit. I've been in this
Yeah.
house for a minute. So I'm doing okay, though. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Always back to reality after a holiday, back at it, back to the grind,
Yep.
but I'm doing good besides that. No complaints,
That's good to
so
hear. Yes, sir.
yeah, man. So look, while we was gone, over the weekend, all that, seen
Yeah.
this story, what I'm saying, I want to bring to my first topic, pretty much.
Okay.
I want to know your thoughts on the story. Pretty much a kid found his mother's drugs and called the cops on her and got her arrested. Now the kid couldn't have been no more than it looked like 9 or 10. He's about 9 or 10 years old. But what is your thoughts on him finding his mama's drugs and calling the cops on her and getting her arrested? They showed up at the house and arrested her.
Man, that's a very interesting story, and I believe I've seen that story before.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like that's something that kid has been exposed to before because how do he automatically know what it is and what to do? Like, now that he had found it, like, how do he know
Yeah.
this is drugs, this is bad, this shouldn't be in our home? And how did he know to call the police about it instead of going to his mom? I feel like
Mhm.
kids are a whole lot smarter than we give them credit to be. He probably done seen his mama, selling drugs or either doing drugs and it's probably hurting him and breaking him inside. And he probably came to his breaking point and was like, I'm just going to call the police to get them involved to try to get these drugs out of my mom. Away from her
Yeah.
and out of our home. That's probably a broken home, a drug addict home. And he just was over
Mhm.
it and just called the police. So I'm not mad at it. I really hate that he had to experience that. I hate that he had to go through that and had to do that.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes it take your kid to intervene, for you to get your life, on track, if it even gets on track. But it's an unfortunate situation, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, that's a fact. I would just say, all kids, every kid don't deserve that. Like no kid deserves to see their parent doing that, especially if they, seeing their parent nod off or, just whatever. I know it's a lot of situations when even if they could be smoking a cigarette after they got high and they just leaning over and burned a hole in the couch because they just so
Hmm.
high. So, we don't know what he was exposed to, but like you said, sometimes it's an eye opener, man. And then you never know if he's talking to grandma or grandpa. You know how that go too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Call him on her. Call him on her. She'll be all right. We've been fussing at her for 20 years. Call him on her. Yeah. So you never know what did it. But I ain't mad at it neither, because he's innocent. He's harmless. It's not like he understands it. He just knows it's wrong. And
Yeah.
he want a fair chance pretty much probably in life. So I ain't against it, but should he have done it? There's consequences to that too. If there's no dad around, now, yeah, he may can go to a grandparent's house or whatever, but sometimes, kids become state property. So that's the other thing too, hopefully he had a
Yeah.
home to go to by that happening because now the mom gonna have to go through all type of drug programs to show she's worth being a parent, to get him back. Because sometimes they, you have to go through all that to get your kid back. So in that time,
Hmm.
where's the kid living? Is he in juvie? Is he, with someone else? Is he doing? I can't think of the word right now. But when they adopt you, not adopt you, but
Be in the
what's
state.
yeah. When you just go house to house,
Yeah.
So that's the only part that can get kind of rough for his life if they pursue that in a way that she get charged and don't get the kid back. you know.
Right. Not to mention how traumatizing it could be. The
Mhm.
long-term effects, the type of trauma, long-term trauma effects it can have on him, when he grow up, and how it could spill into the way he may act. He might start acting out when he get, older because he don't have a functioning mother or a functioning family, just in case he did get put into the system. Like, that plays a big role in why into why some of these kids act out the way that they do, because they wasn't brought up in a stable household. So yeah, it could really
Mhm.
mess them up mentally too.
Yeah, and like you said, we don't know the upbringing or just how they get treated. Do they eat
Hmm.
every night? Do they get baths every night? Like some things
Yeah.
that we just take for granted. What if they live, like we said, with a crackhead mom or dad, and now ain't no food in the house, ain't no lights on, like, so yeah, it be traumatizing, man. Not
Hmm.
just having a normal kid life. To me,
Yeah.
I always said this: kids only deserve growing up to be a kid. Nothing more, nothing less. They shouldn't be worried about anything with you, because it's not they supposed to just be a kid and just know, hey, okay, mom, dad gonna handle it, no
Yeah.
matter what. They got no business at 6, 7, 8 years old being sad because of this situation, or mommy's high again, mommy on the floor again,
Hmm.
or so hopefully parents, I know we do the best we can, but just let your kids be kids. If you do, I don't condone, you doing drugs and crack and cocaine and all that, but if you're gonna do it, you gotta pick and choose a time when to do it. I don't even say you should do it at all, but
Hmm.
can't make you stop doing it. So if you are doing it, at least hide it, forever, ever, ever, from your kid. But
Hmm.
I don't know, because they're not condoning it. So just don't do drugs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, just don't do that shit, man. Especially got you doing the nine and all that, man. The dope fiend nine. Just leave that shit alone, man.
Mhm.
For real,
Yeah, these new
So,
age parents, they something different. They don't even care about doing drugs around or in front of their kids. Like back in the day, the parents that did used to do drugs, they did used to hide it. For a long
yeah.
time, you
Mm-hmm.
probably would have never knew your mom or your daddy was doing drugs, because they was in the room with it, or at their friend's house, or at the drug house doing it, and they would
Mm-hmm.
just come back and be high. But still hid it pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, like, they just doing everything in front of their kids. Like, they don't care. They really say F these kids. It's sad. It's disgusting to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it's sad. And like you said, the older days, they knew how to hide it. They was functioning. They was still going to work every
Hmm.
day.
Functioning, yeah.
All that, So,
Hmm.
y'all gotta get a hold of yourself, man.
Please and thank you.
Please and
For
thank
the
you.
kids, man. Ugh.
Absolutely. And before we go to you, Miss Leah, let's go ahead and take a commercial break, and we'll
All
be
right.
right back, guys. All right, you know what I'm saying? So now we are back intact, It's up to you, Miss Leah. What you got for us today?
You know what? It's so interesting that, excuse me, we just had that topic about, that kid and things like that, because
Mm-hmm.
my question coming up is kind of youth related. But
Okay.
my question is, what did you want to be when you grew up? Back when we was
Ooh.
young, we used to be like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. You know what I'm saying? Was it
Hmm.
something that you were so passionate about that you wanted to be when you grew up when you was younger?
Yep, it was. And you're going to laugh at me. You may not, but every kid wanted to be a fireman or a cop, you know what I'm saying? And, I honestly wanted to be a detective. I don't know. I just always liked the detectives. The cops had to wear the uniforms and all that. But the detectives, got a chance to wear just a little suit, you know what I'm saying, or certain pants. And they out there all day. You don't know if they cops or they undercover in vehicles. So I wanted to be a detective, man. You know what I'm saying? Really, really
Mm-hmm.
bad because I'm good at stuff like that. Even like as a kid, in Sherlock Holmes games and just mysteries, figuring it out. That's always been my thing. So it's like, oh, I can do police work. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be a cop, man. I want to be a detective, man. So I know that may sound
Oh,
crazy, but I loved it. And even if I could
no.
change some of the things I did in life, no lie, it's real talk. From the game banging, dropping out of school, all that, I still desire to want to be a detective. I don't know why. I just like that vibe, man. So I always wanted to be a cop, a detective. That's just me That's what I always wanted to do. Then, of course, you had your little superstars like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Yeah, but in reality, I wanted to be a cop. But of course, you wanted to be like Michael Jackson growing up or whoever else. You wanted to look coat, to look glove. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but definitely a cop, boy. I want to be 12 over here. So,
That's
yeah,
real.
I want to be 12.
Okay. Before I get into that, I mean, that makes sense to me because you like, when we be doing our podcast episodes, and sometimes you'll hit me with the true crime,
Mhm,
scenarios. So, I mean,
mhm,
I can see even still, even though you didn't, pursue that profession, you still have a passion for it, and I think that's
mhm.
pretty dope. I think that's cool. So I don't think it's laughable that you wanted to be a detective. I think that's pretty cool.
Appreciate you, Miss
Yeah,
Lee. Appreciate you.
absolutely, absolutely. Me myself, when I was younger, I wanted to be an author. I wanted to write books because
Okay.
I'm really deep into storytelling. I love reading things that I like to take people's minds on journeys, like give people like mental visuals. I
Mhm,
like to be very deep and in depth with my wordplay and like just taking people on journeys. So I'm a talker, as a lot of people probably can tell by now, and I have a lot to say. And I knew this even when I was younger that I had a lot to say. I wanted, to just put it into the form of a story and just like tell people stories and stuff like that.
mhm,
So yeah, when
mhm.
I was younger, I wanted to be an author. I wanted to write books. I wanted to do an autobiography on myself and my life and the few years, that I had already lived at the time when I was thinking about it. I was like 12, 13, and just had
Mhm,
lived a pretty, I did a lot. So I had a lot to talk about at 13. So, but
mhm.
yeah, I definitely wanted to write books and take people on journeys and stuff like that.
So let me ask you a question, because I know a lot
Mm.
of people always had, you grew up in the same era I did, so they wanted like a Maya Angelou and different authors like that. Like, was anybody inspiring at that time that made you want to be an author, or is it something you was always feeling on being?
You know what's so crazy? I wasn't even reading books like that back then. I
Mhm,
knew of books and I knew, excuse me, I knew
mhm,
of books. I knew, I never really it was never really a book or a few books that I've read that inspired me to want to write. It was just being in school. Like we would have like English class, we would have to write essays and write. It was the essays that we would have to write and stuff like that from whatever the assignment was that just made me realize how much I like write. It was writing. At first, it started as I liked to write, but I
mhm.
also liked, all the thought that I had to put into what I was explaining and what I was talking about that made me, realize that I also like to talk and just express myself. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a form of expression for me. I love to express myself and again take people's minds on mental journeys. But I've never was inspired at that time by any authors, anything like that. But the older I got and when I did get into books, Stephen King was definitely somebody that inspired me as far as like real popular authors. And then it
Mhm.
was this one woman, you may be familiar with her, but her name is Mary Kay Baxter, I think.
Oh yeah, I heard of it. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
of it.
she has this book called A Divine Revelation of Heaven and A Divine Revelation of Hell. And it's just her giving her testimony of God coming to her in her sleep and her dream and giving her 7 days in heaven and 7 days in hell and telling her to go back and give her testimony of both places. And she, yeah, put
Wow.
it into a book. And that definitely, it did more than inspire me to just want to be an author. It changed my life. So, but yeah,
Wow.
her and Stephen
Yeah.
King definitely, I would say, are two authors that definitely inspired me.
Wow, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Mhm.
hear that a lot, but that's what I said. When everybody a kid, you have your dreams and your goals from jump sometime of what you want to be, so that's dope that you want to be an author, man. Do you still, pretty much write and do that now? You know what I mean? Or that ain't nothing you
Mhm.
pretty much into anymore,
I
like to
do.
publish a book one day.
Maybe not publish a book, but every once in a while, I'll still jot down some thoughts, some memories, maybe an emotion, or maybe anything. Whenever I'm just in the mood to write, I got a journal my mom gave me, and I just jot feelings, emotions, moods, and things like that. Or sometimes I put it
Mhm.
into a form of poetry or something like that. But yeah, every once in a while, I still do. I still do get down with writing.
Man, that's dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? If you ever put one out, let me know. I got a friend. She just turned 50 years old, and she just put a book out. You know, she always desired to, and it took her a long time to get over her just nervousness and everything. And she finally put a book out, and it's on Amazon and everything. I'll try to get the name of it and even put it on our page just to show her some love, and
Yeah.
share her book that she wrote. And yeah, man, you write that book, you know, we're gonna be advertising it all day, every day on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. So, you know, we rocking with you, Miss Leah.
I
You know.
appreciate it.
So before we go into the next subject, let's go ahead and take another break real quick and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. We back in this thing, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see we got commercials now. We moving on up. You know
Hey.
what I'm saying? Hey, but look, okay, I'm gonna go on to the next topic. I got you.
Okay.
Okay. This is a kind of common question. Everybody got different answers, but I just want to know, like, at what point should you introduce your significant other to your parents? You know, at what point, like in a relationship, should you, hey, this is so and so. You know, what you think about that? What you got?
I'll speak for me because I feel like that varies and it different it it
Mhm,
varies depending on how
mhm,
well things are going with
mhm.
whoever. For me, it does depend on how well things are going, but even still, it because I could say, oh, I feel like 3 months or 6 months, but it's not guaranteed to be at a place where is good enough to he's good enough to present
Yeah,
to my mom within that time. So I
yeah.
really don't know. But I would say if everything is going well and he seems like he's somebody that I can finally introduce to my mom, I would say just so I'll know that this is real and it's something that's I'm very sure of, because I don't want to take him like super soon and then a month later like, oh yeah, my mama asked like, oh, how such, and I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't work. Like, I no, seriously, because it gets like that so fast. So I wanna make sure when I present a man to my mom, it's somebody that I know we're actually going somewhere, because we've already been in it for a little minute and it's looking very promising. So I'll
Mhm.
say um at least a good before I physically introduce him to my mom, I would say at least about a good 6 to 8 months before
Okay.
I'll probably, tell her, yeah, I met somebody, I'm
Mhm.
dating somebody, but before I just be like, okay, mom, here he is, probably
Yeah.
about a good 6 to 8 months, and it's not gonna even be at her house, because I don't even believe in taking nobody, boyfriend or not, to my mom's house. Somebody knowing where my mama
Mhm.
live at. We can go out to eat or something like that, but yeah, I do it like that.
Because you know they'll get crazy on you not at your mama
Hmm.
house.
And now I'm gonna have to
Call
kill you. Nope, nope, nope. I gotta get you first. Ain't doing my mama.
her for real. You know what I'm saying? And you know how someone be, I ain't gonna know what till you call her Miss So and So, man. Call her. You tell
Yeah,
her come
nope.
by here and talk to me.
Ain't nobody gonna know my mama live at.
For real. I don't know why I did this, but I did this young in my teenage years. I brought almost every girl home to my mama. And my mama had to pull me to the side one day and was like, I know you get to that age, you know what I'm saying? You can be 18, 19, whatever. Baby, you ain't got to bring everybody on to meet your mama. I was like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll just bring them by the crib. I ain't thinking nothing of it. Just stopping by the house. Even if we on a date, stop by the crib. And if I run in, oh yeah, ooh, mom, this so and so. Just, I had to realize now you don't do that. And as I got older,
Yeah.
like you said, I would say at least 8 months to a year for me, honestly,
Mhm.
because like you said, sometimes even a good 6 months ain't enough. Like, y'all can
Mhm.
end up seeing that y'all don't, blend and okay, bye, go on your way, go on your way. So I feel like if they're around 8 months to a year, then yeah, you kind of know, like, okay, in a
Mhm.
year, maybe. And sometimes people live, a double life and you will figure it out later, but uh,
Mhm.
a year is pretty, solid. 8 months to a year is pretty solid to bring them around. And, hey, this is so and so. Maybe we can catch y'all for a holiday because by the time they've been around 8 months to a year, it's gonna be a Thanksgiving thing or something. Like, hey, this is so and so, y'all.
Mhm.
Then everybody, hey, everybody, hey, whatever. But yeah, I would say 8 months to a year. it's about right for me as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
you should know by then if y'all kind of on a good path to meet my parents, and if it's sometimes people don't meet parents. I heard women say they ain't met his parents in 2 years. Like
Mm,
sometimes a guy never introduces his girl to his mama, or it take him
mm,
a while. And in that
mm.
case, it's suspect to me. I know we finna get it.
Mhm.
You know we finna get into it. Now in that
Okay.
case, it's a little suspect to me, because if the man ain't showed you his mama in 2 years, it's these two
That's
things. I'm
that
be
double life you
100.
was talking
That's that
about.
double life. Exactly. Because he already has showed another girl, you know what I'm saying, his mama, and she always over there, so, or whatever. But yeah, if it take him 2, 3 years to show you, introduce you to his mama, yeah, that's a red flag in itself. Unless he don't get along with his mama and they don't have a good relationship, okay, cool. But
Yeah.
if they have a great relationship and he always at his mama house and he just always just stopping by, make sure his mama good, and you ain't met her in 2 years, yeah, it's a time. It's pretty much you a jump off with just a little play toy. He don't take you serious
Mm-mm.
enough. You have to meet his mama. Yeah.
I would be so upset to invest 2 years into somebody who don't feel like I'm worthy enough to meet their parents, and it's because, well, maybe because they are. Well, I'll be upset for so many reasons. They got this other family over here I didn't know about, and you wasted 2 years of my like. Oh, child, that's not even because sometimes I get my feelings and oh, child, I ain't gonna do all that, but yeah, man, that's why. I'm only going to invest so much of my time into somebody before I start, well, when we're going to, start doing this and start doing that to kind of see like if some red flags going to start popping up if they start making excuses for normal stuff that I feel like we should be doing at an 8 to 1 year mark. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So y'all out there, we ain't trying to make y'all feel bad, but it's a reality to that. If that man talks to his mama all the time and he have a relationship with her and you ain't met her and it's been 2 years, yeah, you might be that side piece, or yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of reasons it could be. So I just shut up about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but there's some reasons behind that. Just apply some pressure if you had
Yep.
to, and if you still ain't with it, I don't know. But some flags you gotta pay attention to, for
Yeah,
real.
definitely. Let them
You know.
antenna heads start tingling. You gotta answer
Mhm.
to them. Start asking questions. Start investigating.
Straight up. What you got, Miss Liz? I'm listening.
Okay, so I got another question, and it goes a little something like this. Okay, who is someone that you want to meet before you go?
Ooh, like before I die, basically,
Before you
right?
die, who is somebody that you like, man, I just gotta meet this person. It would be so cool to finally meet this person at least one time.
See, we had a subject like this similar, but it wasn't this. But I
Mm-hmm.
still gotta name that person. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I just feel like I like Denzel Washington. I would like to sit down with Denzel Washington. And pretty much just pick his brain. I feel like he a deep dude besides acting, man. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that about him, but he a church going guy, and I seen him even singing at church on a few videos, and
Mm-hmm.
I just think he down to earth, but yet he's so intelligent, but he don't make it seem like he better than anybody. So
Yeah.
just to have that humbleness he have and just
Mm-hmm.
that deepness, man, I really would like to just have a full day, man, just to talk to him. I know I gotta say pause. But man, just grab a hot dog with me, walk through the park. Let's sit there for about
So,
8 hours, man. You know what I'm saying?
huh? What
He
you
ain't even gotta take me to no expensive restaurant, no none, Denzel. Where you at, Denzel?
listen, listen.
Oh
But
man.
no,
Oh, I walk through the park eating a hot dog with Denzel is crazy
man,
work.
I know. That's why I had to say pause, man.
I
But
know.
I'm just saying a decent, just peaceful,
Yeah.
scenery. That's pretty much what I'm saying, y'all. Now, don't clown me, you know what I'm saying? Just pretty much a peaceful scenery and just, man, picking his brain. Just want to meet him, man. But I feel like he really deep, he intelligent, he's smart. And that's something I really, really would like to do. and meet him one day, and just man, just have that good conversation with him, and just that's what I needed. That's what I wanted. Like, okay, cool,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the person for me. Who is it for you?
Denzel is always a good choice. You can never go wrong with Denzel being a choice for anything. He's
Mhm.
very humble dude, like you said. And for me, you know what's so crazy? When I was younger, well, I ain't gonna even say younger because it wasn't that long ago. But I used to be like a super crazy Chicago Bulls fan. Like this was back in like the Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Jimmy Butler,
Mm,
days like that era. And when
mhm,
I tell you, I was a big Bulls fan. So back then, not back then, but just in that era,
in
if
general.
if I was if you was to ask me who would I have wanted to meet before I died, I would have said the Chicago Bulls, but mainly Derrick
Mhm,
Rose and Noah and Jimmy Butler. Those were my big three.
mhm,
But
mhm,
yeah, those three I would have definitely wanted to meet before I die, and I still wouldn't mind, but it's not that dire desire like it used to be, to want to meet them before I die. And then it was a point where the group 112, they got the lead singer, his name is Slim.
mhm.
Now, oh my God, when I tell you I was obsessed, and not necessarily just with him, but just his vocals, it was just something about his vocals that just, I don't know, just put me in this trance. And I was just like, if I'm on my deathbed and y'all say, Leah, what's your last wish? What do you want? Please go get Slim. Go get Slim immediately. I just want him to sing me to my death. Sing me to my death. I will happily die peacefully with a smile on my face. So I was just so obsessed with that man's vocals, man. But I literally used to think that to myself, like, man, if I'm ever have the opportunity to die, like in peace, like, and I could get a last request before I go, like, it's gonna be Slim. Like, send him to me. I want, but now that I'm, past that stage as well, now, at 44, like. Somebody that I just gotta meet before I go. I would just love to meet before I go. It ain't really been nobody that's been moving me to that point where I just want to meet this person. But there
Right.
is one person in particular that I really do admire her a whole lot, and I think I mentioned her as well. And the question at that time was, if you could sit down and politic with a celebrity, who would it be?
That's what it was. Right,
That's what it
right.
was. But I still stand 10 toes on this artist. Her name is Eniko, and she's very slept on. But in place of Slim, if anybody could sing me to my grave, I would want it to be her. Send me to my eternal sleep, please, Eniko. So yeah, right now I'll say Eniko. If I could, make the wish, or if I could meet anybody, it would definitely be Eniko.
And,
Absolutely.
and you know what? I would say even with 112, I did a lot of shows with them, and
Oh,
one particular time, we even the first time I ever met them, and it's funny because like how life is. Now you from Chicago, so you remember the Jenny Jones show.
absolutely.
The
Yep.
Jenny Jones show, I was there. I was
I
16.
was too.
I wasn't even supposed to be there. You're supposed to be 18 to get in.
Mhm.
And we was 16 getting in the show, all that. And went to the restroom. 112 was performing that day on Jenny Jones and met 112 in the bathroom, man.
Wow, what
And
a
and
pleasure.
then they turn around and just shake their hand at that time and all that. But then to turn around and do shows with them and in my adult life, it's like wow, man. It's like that's one of my favorite groups, and I'm gonna tell you, you might can still catch them performing sometime. I think they be in Vegas, like Boys to Men and
Oh,
all them. They go to
yep.
Vegas and they do like 2-3 months out the year and perform there. So you can always just go to Vegas and just stay one day and go to that show and go back home. Like,
You know what's
yeah.
so sad about that? I've never been to a concert ever in my life, and I've never been to Vegas. So that
We're
would
gonna
be like
make
a
both
double
happen.
whammy. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
double
gonna make
whammy,
both
man.
happen. Just hang in there, man. We're gonna do that for you. I'm gonna
Yes,
find
yes.
out if I can pull some strings for you for real. You
Man,
know,
listen, you trying to send me to an early grade.
man. But I'm gonna tell you though too. I'm glad you mentioned more than one person because I just picked one person. I'm gonna tell you who real humble, and I had to sit down with personally. A lot of people
Okay.
know him. A lot of people know him as Dre off of Power, but he also is a singer. His name is Rotimi. Now, I
Who?
don't know if you know, his name is Rotimi. Some people say Rotimi, some people say Ronami. But he played Dre on Power.
I
And
never watched Power.
man, if you, I'm gonna put his name out there for you. It's Rotimi. Rotimi.
Rotimi. Okay.
hmm And man, this dude here, when you start looking up his music, he had number one hits and everything, but he was really known for Power. He did acting. And this dude here I sat down with, and he told me personally, like, stay at your dream, stay at your goal. He said, you almost there, brother. He said, just stay with it. And he told me his story about him. But that's one dude that I met, and I ain't gonna lie, that kind of just wooed me because sometimes you don't know how people are. But he pretty much he a sleeper too. You know, like the girl you talked about. Even though
Yeah.
he been in movies and stuff like that, but people still don't know about him. This dude
Mhm.
can sing, man.
Wow.
And he can act his ass off. But
Mm-hmm.
man, he sat me down and told me some stuff, and it just, man, made me just in awe that he took the time out of me hitting him up. And he finally just like, hey man, look, check this out. And sat down, talked to me. He didn't say, hey man, you hit me up too much, like we talked about, wearing your welcome out. Because I was hitting him
Yeah.
up all the time. But he sat
Yeah.
me down, talked to me, told me what's up, told me how to do it, told me to reach out to his manager, told me this, that. Like, he just schooled me. And man, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Rotimi, man. Y'all got to check
Shout
him
out.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one
So,
thing I can respect is a person in position that's humble. Like, you
yeah.
know how some people they get in a specific position and it literally just goes to their head and they just forget who they are, where they come from. But, for a person to get into a specific position and still be humble and still treat people like people, oh, you gotta
Mhm.
respect them, man. Big ups to
Man,
Rodamy. Is
respect.
Rotimi?
I
Yeah.
think it's Rotimi, but people say Ronami too.
It sounds
Yeah,
like a
well, check him
Spanish name.
out.
Is it Spanish?
Man, no, he is actually, like, I think he, like, I don't want to say Jamaican. I don't know if he's
Okay.
African descendant, but he's some in African. Like, when you hear him
Okay.
sing, a lot of his stuff is
It's a Caribbean
upbeat.
name, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Caribbean. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But a
All
lot of his
right.
music is upbeat and like African beat, man. I'm telling you, he did stuff with T.I. and all that 50 Cent because he was on 50 Cent show pretty much. But check him out, y'all. Y'all get time. And shout out
Yeah.
to girl one more time. Her name, how you spell it?
Iniko. It's
Unica.
Iniko. Iniko. And
Okay.
she has one of the most out of this world's voices. It's almost alienated in a beautiful way.
Mm,
It's just a voice that you're not gonna hear again. It's unmatched. It's a beautiful voice, and
mm.
she's one of those like woke people that I can't explain her. You really and if anybody wants to just get an idea of her, I promise you, just check out her song called Jericho, and make sure it's by Iniko because there are a lot of people that covered Jericho, but Jericho by Iniko, that song right there is gonna pull you in if you're into indie artists with unique voices. That song's gonna pull you in. You're gonna want to hear more from her.
Dope, man. Shout out to her, man. For
Yeah,
real.
shout out
Shout
to
out to her.
Nico. Yeah, and that being said, you guys want to follow me on my TikTok at your favorite BBW319. And if you're more of a Facebook kind of person, you can follow me on Facebook at your favorite BBW Unmatched, and that's unmatched with an ED at the end. So come follow me on my socials, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with us and sticking to the end of this episode, and I'll catch you on the next
Yeah.
one.
And this your boy ATB, also known as America's Teddy Bear. You pretty much can find me on all music platforms by just typing in America's Teddy Bear or ATB, and it should be showing everything I got out there as far as music. Or you can type in Teddy Bear Chronicles, which is out now, and follow me that way on music. Also on platforms as far as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can type in the same name, pretty much America's Teddy Bear, and you'll see all my stuff pop up on those platforms as well. Make sure you go follow us and, man, chime in with us, man, on the music and just our personal everyday lives, okay? We also got New Gen Investment Group. Pretty much, if you're facing foreclosure and you want to avoid bankruptcy, deficiencies, or judgments, they can help you protect your credit by just buying your home as is. If your home fits the criteria, pretty much within 30 days, they'll pay you cash for your home. You don't have to do no repairs, anything. They'll buy as is. That number is 312-468-3243. And the office number is 331-318-9197. Also, if you're interested in getting your car detailed, we got JWP Detailing, JWP Detailing, and he will come to your home and detail your cars right in the driveway. If you're locally in Naperville, Plainfield, Aurora, Bolingbrook, or Joliet, pretty much. If you're outside of that, I'm pretty sure y'all can work some out on the fuel. But right now, I know it's those locations for the back to school special, $129. Also, if you want to follow the page on Facebook, it's JWP Detailing. And the man name is Cameron, 773-816-1470. That's 773-816-1470. And until next time, tell your mama, your aunties, your sisters, Uncle ATB says hi. And we got this thing. Peace.
Ciao.